Buongiorno a tutti, welcome back to my little kitchen here in Lecce in the south of Italy. My name's Francesco, and today, as the zucchini blossom that I bought on Monday are still holding up, I'm going to make a classic Roman dish, spaghetti cacio e pepe, and I'm going to add the zucchini blossom to make that just that little bit more special. These are actually called tonnarelli in Rome, and they are the spaghetti, the square cut spaghetti alla chitarra. These are the thicker, more delicious spaghetti, the best you can get. If you can find them, please make the effort, but if you can't, just regular spaghetti will do. And as you know, the only ingredients you need are the cacio, which is the cheese, pecorino in this case, and pepe, which are black peppercorns, which we're going to toast in the frying pan. We're going to add the zucchini blossom, and at the end we're going to add a cream made of the pecorino with a little bit of the pasta water. So this is a very minimal and delicious dish, very easy to make. It just takes the time that the spaghetti takes to boil, and that's, especially on a hot day like this, a really good thing. So I hope you enjoy the recipe. If you do, please give me that thumbs up, do leave a comment, and do subscribe to the channel and follow me for more. Let's cook. For today's recipe you are going to need spaghetti alla chitarra. If you can't get that, regular spaghetti will do, grated pecorino cheese, black peppercorns, and zucchini blossom. Set aside one zucchini blossom which we can use as a garnish at the end, and then cut away the ends of each zucchini blossom and remove the stamen from inside. Open the blossoms up so that we'll be able to give them a good rinse before cooking. Simply rinse them under cold running water and set them to one side. They'll soon dry out. We just want to make sure that we don't have any little insects inside or pollen, which is going to taste bitter. And here's our whole zucchini blossom. We'll remove the stamen now, and we'll set this aside for later. Next, for one portion of spaghetti, we're going to need 1 heaped teaspoon of black peppercorns, which we're going to grind with a mortar and pestle. You can of course just use a pepper grinder, but make sure that it's coarsely ground. It just tastes better that way. And as this dish has so few ingredients, you want to make sure to use them to your best advantage. Next, we're going to go back to the zucchini blossoms, which quickly dried out, and cut them into thin strips like this. For one portion of pasta, 4 or 5 zucchini blossoms should be more than enough. Now we can go over to the stove, turn on the heat on our frying pan, add salt to our pasta water but not too much, and then begin toasting the black peppercorns. Let them toast for 2 or 3 minutes until their aroma is fully developed. Then add a ladle of the pasta water, and we can go in with the zucchini blossoms. The beauty of this dish is that you don't need any butter or oil. It has no part in cacio e pepe. It's all about cheese and pepper. That's what the name says. The only thing we're adding is the zucchini blossom in this version. Add a little bit more water to let them cook down, because the water will evaporate away, but that's all you need to add at this point. In the meantime, whilst our water comes up to the boil, we're going to add 3 heaped tablespoons of pecorino cheese into a bowl and a little of the hot pasta water. We're going to stir this in, and this is going to make the cream that we're going to use to dress our pasta with. It's so easy. Add just a little bit of water at a time, just enough to melt the cheese and turn it into a smooth cream. The reason that we didn't add as much salt to the pasta water as we normally would is because we have all of this salty and rich cheesy flavour that we're going to add at the end. Make sure that the zucchini blossoms don't dry out and add a little bit more water as necessary, and as soon as that water is boiling, in goes the pasta. You're going to need between 80 and 100 grams of pasta for one good portion. Cook the pasta for 3 minutes less than the time stated on the package so that it's still very al dente, as you can see here. Then add it into the frying pan along with the zucchini blossoms and a couple of ladles of water so that it continues cooking together. You now want to keep tossing and stirring for a good 2 or 3 minutes until the pasta is cooked so that it releases its starch into the water that you're adding and then goes to form the cream, which is going to be the base of our sauce. It doesn't look like much of a sauce at the moment, it's just water, but the more that you keep moving it, as you can see here, as it reduces down, that water is going to become starchy and creamy. Once the pasta is al dente, turn off the heat and then let it rest for a minute or so. It's really important that you do this final stage with the heat turned off. Now we can add that creamy cheese mixture and stir it in vigorously until it becomes the real creamy Cacio e pepe sauce that we all love so much. The whole secret is to simply do this with the heat turned off. That's what's going to stop the cheese from curdling, and if you keep tossing and stirring it, it will become lovely and creamy and delicious like this. Just a minute or so of tossing in the pan and you're ready to serve. When it comes to serving, I suggest you try to do it restaurant style, then notice that it's not going to work and just lay it out on your plate. Life's too short to worry about that. Although it would have been nice. Oh well. On goes the remaining cheesy sauce on top. And then of course our finishing touch, the zucchini blossom that we'd set to one side. In the end I decided to tear it into strips as well, as I thought it would look a little bit prettier. Then we're going to add more freshly ground black pepper, and then we're ready to enjoy. Buon appetito!